Hey homies, this is McGarren Flack here to give you an update on my Pluerries. I have 4 varieties of Pluerries, one that was already ripe in June. Let's see, it's July 23rd. So it's been really hot, usually it's hot here in zone 8B of the desert. So no humidity in our desert. We're like in single digits. Thank you, Nugget. I changed my watering situation. I had these little spray nozzles that were watering all my fruit trees up here on the hill. So I'm up on the hill right now. The spray was getting the trunks wet and everything wet, and watering every single day. It wasn't really going down deep into the soil. So this year I decided to change my watering system to drip line up on the hill. Down in the lower orchard, I have a drip line that is set up, but up here in the top, I didn't have a drip line. So I converted it to a drip line, and that'll make sense as soon as you start to see this tree, because these have had spray nozzles, spray emitters for the past couple of years. There's gonna be shock, right? The trees are gonna be shocked because now I have 4 2-gallon emitters around each tree, and I water them every single day for about 20 to 30 minutes. Nugget, I'm trying to talk here, dude. All right, 20 to 30 minutes of watering per day, and sometimes when it gets over 100 degrees, I water twice a day for 20 to 30 minutes. So I'm getting about, or giving about 4 gallons per day on a regular watering, all the way up to 8 gallons per day on these larger trees. On the smaller trees, it's only 2 gallons per day at max. Okay, this is the sugar twist. The fruit was ripe in the month of June, and it was really, really sweet fruit. I have a video that I made on that you're welcome to watch about the sweet treat. If we look over here, this is the candy heart. The candy heart is supposed to ripen in August. And if we look at some of this fruit, it's already drying on here. And again, because of my watering, it's green on one side, eaten by birds on the other side. They're just not ripening. It's not getting enough water to all the root systems. I have an emitter here, here, there, and on the back. But I do have some that are still green that I have bagged, so hopefully those will be able to ripen up without the birds eating them, and that should be ready this next month. If we look over here, this is the sweet treat. It is more like a cherry tree. If you look at all the fruit that is growing on here, look at that. So sweet treat. But you can see that they're already drying and we're crispy crittered. Do you hear that? Yeah, that's not a good sound. That means it's not getting enough water. So I am trying to water it enough to be able to reroute the root system to hopefully make it continue to live. But after tasting this fruit, I am actually not that impressed with the flavor of the fruit. It doesn't taste as good as a cherry, and it doesn't taste as good as a nice plum. That one's actually pretty good. I'm gonna save this one for later to eat. Also, had no June bugs until this last week. They've just been coming out of the woodwork. The sweet treat is supposed to ripen in July, the end of July, which is where we're at, but these seem to be ripening earlier than that, or at least dying before that. And I think it's because of the watering, not because of anything else. So hopefully next year I'll get more of a better crop to be able to taste test. Flavor Punch, really nice one. It's the latest one, September. Sweet treat, supposed to be July to August, more like a cherry variety. Candy Heart, supposed to be in August. It's already ripening in some areas, but again, I think it's just because of the drip system that I installed, and all the trees are having a hard time right now, but they'll get adjusted. Okay, let's go for the tasting. Here are the sweet treat Pluerries. They're like a small cherry. They're twice the size of a gummy. If you've ever had a gummy, I highly recommend them. But half the size of a store-bought cherry. Let's just taste it. Okay, Little bit of a crisp crunch to it. A little bit softer, so kind of like a regular plum or an overdone cherry, overripe cherry. And the flavor is okay. It's not the best. It's not ultra sweet. It doesn't taste too much like a cherry. It doesn't taste too much like a plum. Good little flavor to it. To tell you the truth, if I had the choice between having a cherry and this sweet treat, I would go for a sweet cherry tree. It's just not the best of both worlds for this year. Next year it might be really good. This year, not so much. Here's the flavor punch. This one's the flavor punch. This one is the sweet treat. You can see the size difference between the two. This is more like a large cherry compared to this one. So I'm gonna take a bite out of this, even though the flavor punch isn't supposed to be ripe for another month. That greenness there, yeah, it's definitely not ripe yet, but some of these birds are eating them, so I thought I'd give it a try. That was actually pretty good. Some cherry notes and tastes like a plum. The green part is kind of astringent, so it kind of sucks the moisture out of your mouth, so maybe you shouldn't eat them before they're totally ripe. But the red part is actually really good. Good juiciness. A little bit of cherry flavor. More of a plum flavor. Maybe when it's more ripe, it'll be more sweet. But that's it. So flavor punch, good. Sweet treat, okay. And the number one thing that you should learn, don't change your watering system when your trees are more established. It's really gonna shock them, and especially if you have a lot of heat, it's really, really gonna shock them. So, hope this was an informative video on some Pluerries, and hopefully you can learn from my experience in terms of what variety you want to get or have. Have an excellent day.